Howdy folks, welcome back to Boondockery. Today I'm going to be introducing all of you to Olight's soon to be released Baton III Pro and Eye Morse EDC flashlights. Recently I was contacted by representatives of the Olight company. If you're not familiar with Olight, Olight manufactures high quality illumination in the form of flashlights, headlamps, lanterns, firearm lights, you name it, they produce it. The representatives told me that they have watched several of my review videos and that they like the integrity by which I put behind my review videos. Even though technically this is not going to be a review video, I can't review something that I've not used extensively, it's going to be a good introduction to show you two new lights that they're producing and will be available very soon. I personally have been a big fan of Olight products since I bought my first firearm light from them a couple years ago. Now, if you just happen to be a big fan of Olight products as well, September is going to be a pretty big month. On September 16th at 8 a.m., Olight will be hosting a new product release event on their YouTube channel called Olight World. Just an hour later at 9 a.m. the same day, you can actually enter for giveaways on obuy.com. And a few days later, their big event will start, which is called OFan Days, which will start September 20th at 8 p.m. And you'll be able to check all that information out on their YouTube channel, Olight World. During this event, you'll be able to enjoy flash sales of up to 45% off their product range. Now that I have all that important information out of the way, let's take a look at these new flashlights. And whatever updates and modifications that they've done to these, they've made them significantly better than the products that are currently available online. The first thing we're going to take a look at is the Olight Eye Morse. It's a USB chargeable keychain light. And this, the big selling point for this flashlight is the fact that it has an extended running time. Let's let you have a little closer look at that. That's the packaging. I like their packaging. The biggest reason why I like the packaging is you see the product. The product is actually photographed and presented life size, and on the back you have very detailed and specific information about the product. Let's take a look at that right there. Hopefully that'll come in and focus. And you can see, I mean, that has all the information that you would want to have if you were looking toward buying an EDC flashlight. Packaging is always very user-friendly. It's got a little pull tab in there, so you can pull that out. There's the main product, and underneath of it is the charging cable and the user manual. The user manuals, I really love those because they are very visual. They do have written information that is very specific and is very concise. So there's nothing left up to your interpretation or imagination. All the information you need to know is presented visually, which works very well for me because I'm a very visual person. And as you can see, this is a very small light. And when they say keychain light, I mean, they mean a keychain light. However, unlike a lot of keychain lights, let's see, I've got a couple over here. Like, this thing is about $1, and you know, it is what it is. It's not waterproof, it's not shock resistant, it's not particularly bright, and it's a very minimal keychain light. But this is what you expect when you think about keychain lights. This one, on the other hand, is something else. Now, it's got two modes, one of which is what they call the moon mode, or the low setting, and which is more than sufficient for most of your needs. What I use my keychain lights for is if I drop something, it's dark, reach in my pocket, pull out my keychain, and light the way to find whatever I need. And usually at the brightest, a keychain light is going to be this bright. When I turn that even further, all of a sudden you can see that that is extremely intense. This is much more like I would use a standard handheld full-size flashlight with. Now, the beautiful thing about these two modes is that you have your choice as far as the degree of illumination that you need, and also you have extended battery life when you choose to use it on the lower setting. On the back of the package, which again, the information here is so concise, it's so well laid out, both with visual icons and the actual information. As you saw, it has a high beam and a low beam, and the high setting, it's 180 lumens. That's fantastic. And at 180 lumens, it will stay lit and continue to shine for 23 consecutive minutes. And the distance that you can see with this little beauty is 48 meters. Think about that. That's half of a football field. And for 23 minutes if you need to. Now on the low setting, it's only 5 lumens. But at 5 lumens, that is more than substantial enough for most of your flashlight needs. And burning at 5 lumens, you're going to have a 12-hour illumination time. And your distance is cut down substantially to only 10 meters. But usually, if I'm going to be using my keychain light, it's probably going to be within 3 meters of actual usable light. And it's this is just absolutely fantastic for a little tiny keychain light. Now, a couple of the other bits of information on here, which I think is pertinent to know if you would like to purchase a product, has the length, and the length is 51.3 millimeters or 2.02 inches. The head diameter is 16.2 millimeters or 0.64 inches. The weight is only 22 grams, very lightweight, or 0.78 ounces. Its candela rating is 580. You can drop it up to a distance of 1.5 meters, and its waterproof rating is IPX8. One feature of this flashlight, which is completely unique to at least the best of my knowledge, is the fact that this is rechargeable. You don't have to mess with alkaline batteries or lithium batteries, changing them out. It's rechargeable. And the way that you recharge it, considering, I mean, its waterproof rating, you're like, well, you got to unscrew something. Well, actually, as you untwist this, you'll get to a point to where it's spring loaded, and that spring load will take it down to the threads so you can thread over the waterproof O-ring, and in that is the connection point for your USB charger, which fits right in there like that. And then you can hook it to whatever charging apparatus you want to use, whether it's your laptop, it's your computer, or it's a regular charger box that you use for your cell phone. And those of you that go wild camping and bushcrafting, I'm certain you have some type of a USB charger cell that you carry with you. So that makes that incredibly convenient. And this is also something, if you've been using it extensively, at night when you go to bed, you just put this on your charger, on your nightstand. It'll be fully charged, ready for you to use at full power the next day. And one last thing I noticed about this little beauty is I don't know if this was intended or if this is what Bob Ross would like to call a happy accident, but when you've screwed it back down to where it turns off, there is enough play in it. If you needed to have just a very quick, short burst of light to see something, just push the back end toward the front and you have a very quick and easy short light burst capability. And again, I didn't read this on the information that was on the packaging or in the user manual. I just happened to be putting it back in its packaging, and when I was pushing down on it, there it went. But I definitely could be using this quite a bit. That's an excellent little feature or happy accident, however you want to look at it. Now the next product is deceptively sophisticated, and by that I have to tell you, these are a couple EDC flashlights that I normally carry with me, and they are very basic. This is a standard bulb, takes an alkaline AAA battery, and it's convenient. It has a nice little belt clip, similar features that you'll find on the Baton III Pro. And here's one that it just has a little more lumens. It is a 123 lithium battery with an LED bulb. That's it. That's what you get, folks. That's what you get. Now, basic, does what they need, yes. Sophistication, no, not at all, not at all. The Baton III, it is, by all of its appearances, yes, it is a basic flashlight. However, it is not a basic flashlight. It has a lot of the same features you would normally have on your flashlight, and its appearance to other flashlights is pretty much the only commonality that it has with similar products. Now, just like the other flashlight, the Eye Morse, the information that they provide is very extensive. However, it's very concise. You get all the information you really need when you're wanting to see if this is a product you actually want to purchase. It has all of the pertinent specifications on it, and as you can see, the specifications are quite extensive. Look at all the different types of beam settings that are available on this light. It's going to be available in two different types of light mode, which is cool white or neutral white, and this one comes in cool white. It also comes with a user's manual, which I would highly recommend if you choose to purchase this product, is to go through your user manual first, because there are a lot of different types of ways that you can use this, and this makes it super simple. Olight's manuals, as I said, they're very straightforward, and they utilize a lot of visual references, which I absolutely love, because I'm a very visual person. But it covers every single thing that you need to know about this light visually, and no need for extensive written explanations. It will come with the magnetic charger, which I'll talk a little bit more about that here in just a minute. This is a phenomenal modification or invention that has come onto the market. And I know there's a lot of other companies that utilize this type of a charging mode, but the first exposure I had to it was with my Odin firearm light that I purchased from Olight a couple of years ago. It comes with a nice little carrying pouch as well. Now personally, I will probably never use this for carrying the flashlight. It'll find a place on my kit or in my kit, and that's where it will stay, but there's a nice little pouch to keep it in if that's what you desire. There's also a little bit of webbing there that you could put a D-ring on, or a little carabiner to attach that to your kit if you desire. And this is always nice. Isn't it nice? Thank you for being a part of our Olight family. Your support is why we do this. Enjoy. The Olight team. Ah, that's nice. They didn't have to do that, but they did it anyway. Let's get some of this stuff out of the way. It also comes with in a multilingual capacity, and there are a lot of languages where it goes through all the warnings, precautions, and notices that you would need to know to, you know, cover themselves financially from litigation, and also for your safety. The last thing that comes with this is a L-framed stand that has a self-adhesive pad there. It also comes with a second self-adhesive pad if you would choose to mount it and like in a corner of something to where you want a good positive grip. But I'll go over this in just a second too. Now, the way the charger works, on the very bottom, you'll notice there's this nice little circle in a circle. Well, check this out. That is a super strong magnet, and it charges perfect from the connection in the center to the connection in the center. Holds it in place absolutely perfectly. Now, I don't know if you're like me, but I've had cell phones, I've had other things that use a standard type of a charging cable like this, and you know, if something happens to where that gets filled with some type of debris, or the connection inside the device gets bent or chipped, it's worthless at that point. There's no small fragile parts with this. Just clip it on and it will charge beautifully. Now, we're going to go ahead and look at the user manual so we can go through all the different types of settings that we're going to have with this light. Before I get into that, I want to point out the belt clip. Compared to other flashlights and their belt clips, it's a one-way belt clip for this. It's always going to be facing down. Sometimes the belt clips are not very well attached because the spring tension and the steel isn't sufficient to keep the clip on, and sometimes you lose your light. I've been fortunate the past couple ones I've not had a problem with that, but I have had flashlights in the past that have. Olight's is not going to give you a problem with the clip popping off of the light. But the huge feature here is you can slide it down and clip it into place to where the light is up, or turn it the other way to where the lens is down. That's just a nice little feature. It has a good bit of versatility there, and I like it very much. The knurling on this older light that I have, again very basic, is so extensive that you will actually tear up your belt, or it will get snagged on molly webbing if you try to extract it, because of the spring tension is so extensive on it, and the knurling is so deep. You can't extract it very easily. You have very, very good knurling here to provide a very good, strong grip to the light, and even with gloves on. However, it's not to the severity or the degree that the other one is, so you will have a very smooth extraction if you decide to wear this on your belt or in molly webbing. Now, the first mode is moon mode, and just a quick touch of the button and you can see very slight illumination there. And this is absolutely a fantastic feature for the flashlight if you spend a lot of time outside camping in the dark and you just need to find something that's very nearby. You need to look at it, and you don't need the huge degree of brightness that you would have with a regular flashlight. It just, especially in low light, when you wake up in the middle of the night, it's completely dark. You don't need much light to be able to see what you need to see. And this moon setting is absolutely fantastic. It's a super, super soft glow. And so that's the lowest setting. And you go up to the next one. Just by holding the button in, you'll go up to the next setting, which is low. Let's see which we have. Moonlight, which you've seen. Low, which is now. You can hold that down one more, and that will go up to medium. As you can see, medium is very bright. One more, and that's high. Now, if you noticed, that brightness changed a little bit. And on all the settings, you have a proximity sensor. And if something's very close to you, it will automatically dim just a small degree. Just a small degree. And the reason for that is if you are using a light on a high setting at something that it's at a distance, and you're approaching that. As you're approaching that, you have a lot of light reflection that's going to be coming back at you, and that's going to affect your night vision. So as you see, it brightens as something gets further away, and it dims down just a little bit for you to be able to see what you need to see without all of the glare and the reflection causing a problem for you to see something with clarity. I've never seen this on a flashlight before, and that's absolutely brilliant. And take it back down to, that's the low, medium, high. Goes right back down, and if you want to turn it off, just click it one more time and it goes off. Now we also have a setting that's brighter than high, and that is called turbo. And turbo is extremely bright, and you reach the turbo setting by clicking twice. That's just I can actually feel heat on my hand, on the palm of my hand from that. Now, as the packaging states, let's go ahead and look at some of the specifications on the light settings before we go to the very last one. And for the moon setting, that is only 0.5 lumens. And again, in the middle of the night, you need to find something that's very close to you. You just need to specifically see where it is. The moonlight setting's absolutely fantastic. Now, if I were to leave my flashlight on the moonlight setting, it would continue to illuminate for 120 days before it would drain the battery power. 120 days, that's 4 months. That's absolutely incredible. Now on low setting, that's 15 lumens, which is more than sufficient for most needs you would have around camp. So it's 15 lumens, and continuous burn time at 15 lumens is 100 hours. And it has a throw distance of 20 meters and a candela rating of 100. Now we get up to medium, that is 120 lumens, which if you have 120 lumen light, I mean, that's a fairly bright light all on its own. And it would burn continuously for 17 hours and would have a throw distance of 50 meters. That's half a football field. That's absolutely fantastic. On high, it's 600 lumens and will burn continuously for 120 minutes. And it has a throw distance of 110 meters. That's a football field. That's a football field. That's fantastic. And the candela rating is 3,206. On turbo mode, that's 1,500 lumens, and it has a burn time of 177 minutes and will throw at 175 meters. It's almost 2 football fields, and has a candela rating of 7,900. That's a whole lot of versatility for one pocket-sized flashlight. And since we got the box out, I'll go ahead and go over the dimensions and other essential specifications on here as well. The overall length is 101.4 millimeters, 3.99 inches. The bezel diameter is 23 millimeters, or 0.91 inches. The weight is only 103 grams, and which is the equivalent of 3.36 ounces, and that's including the battery. You can feel the heft of this, but that's all because of the awesome rechargeable battery they have there. And the battery has 3,200 milliamps per hour at 3.6 volts. And so that's all the specifications here. And the last little setting, and we're going to go to turbo mode, and then we're going to do this. Check it out. This is for those, oh my gosh, I can't see. This is for those very rare occasions to where you're wild camping and just feel the need to have a rave, I guess. No, actually, that setting is absolutely fantastic if by any chance you have the necessity to use this flashlight in a tactical manner. If you are in your home, you hear an intruder, and you have your sidearm, and you have your flashlight out. Let's say you're doing your investigations, and you realize that, okay, this is an actual intruder, and you actually see them. You simply, and that will disorientate and completely mess up the eyes of any would-be intruder or attacker, much to your advantage. So that at that point you can make crucial decisions on what you need to do. Hopefully, if someone had a little bit of common sense, if they saw something like that, they would retreat and as fast in order as they possibly can, which is going to be comical because they're not going to be able to see where they're going. Now, the last item that comes with the set is this LFrame Stand. And when you first look at it, you're like, it's just a bent piece of metal. Well, the self-adhesive pad that's on the back, which is made by 3M, if you're familiar with 3M products, if this is supposed to stick to something, it's going to stick to something very, very well. You would simply apply this pad to a location that you would like to readily access your flashlight. I could think of it, a use for it above my light switch in my basement. If our electricity goes out, a breaker throws, I can reach inside my basement door and access my light by it being attached to this through the battery. That is cool. That is very cool. And so with that, it would be attached, it would be over my light. I'd be able to grab this, deploy my flashlight, go downstairs, check the breaker box, and be able to just put it right back in order to, keep it where I need it when I need it. Now, years ago, I had the Maglite products because that was the best pinnacle of lighting that was available back then. It was mid to late 80s, and they had a wall clip to where you could clip your lights. They are made of plastic. The first time that I reached up to get the flashlight, the plastic bracket broke and was therefore worthless. There is no flexing parts, there's no moving parts to this. The magnetic attachment is going to hold it, and it will never fail you. It's made of steel, and if you wanted to, you could apply the second. And if you were going to keep this like in the corner of a doorway or under your desk or something like that, you could apply the attachment points there, so it would lock in up into a cornered section of the desk, your door frame, what have you, just to add a little bit of added security for the attachment point. Having had experience with Olight flashlights in the past, I was anticipating, good quality, excellent light, and with the charging ability of the magnetic charger and everything, I was familiar with that, and I was expecting some good stuff. However, when I look at the EDC lights that I have used in the past, these products are light years beyond what those products were. And for something that should be as simple as a keychain light, something that simple that could be this impressive, is beyond me. It's absolutely beyond me. And it's just, I was blown away. I was literally blown away. I couldn't believe it. Now, some of you may be thinking, it's just like, well, what's the point? What's the point? You need a keychain light, get a keychain light. Well, as you saw, there are a lot of other uses for this keychain light that cannot exist with this. Is that going to stay on by itself? Absolutely not. Am I going to have multiple degrees of brightness with this? Absolutely not. Am I going to be able to recharge this? Absolutely not. I could, change the battery for this if I wanted to. However, when the flashlight itself is 75 cents and the battery is probably going to cost me more to replace than replacing the key ring light, it's pointless. This very much impressed me. I definitely was not anticipating my reaction to this little keychain light that I did. So the Eye Morse, I absolutely love it. The Baton III Pro, I have seen the other Baton III on other videos. I've looked at it, and they were good lights. And when I compare them to mine, again, you can get a cheap, inexpensive belt clip EDC light if that's all you want. But if you want to have something that can go from a moonlight setting all the way up to a strobing self-defense light, you're not going to be able to find it in most any other product that I have seen. You're definitely not going to be able to find one that's going to be manufactured to this quality. I don't know. I can't honestly say that. I haven't looked around to see what other companies are producing. Perhaps companies like Surefire and Streamlight might have a similar product that does similar things, but I don't know. I'm very impressed with this light, and with both of these lights, I am going to be using them quite a lot. I will be taking this to the woods with me all the time. I'm going to put this on my key ring and use this all the time, and within 3 to 6 months I should have enough experience with these to be able to put them through their paces and really test them out in the field, and to see how they stand the test of time and the abuse of use. And I will be making a proper review video then. Over the past year, I have received numerous requests from different companies to review their products. And for numerous reasons, I have turned them all down. When Olight contacted me, I was intrigued. I was very intrigued. I am very familiar with their products. I think their products are very high quality. I have been more than pleased with all their products that I have purchased and used in the past. And when they contacted me, they wanted me to do a review. And I had to articulate to them how I do a review. And I can't actually do a proper review without using the product extensively. And through various communications back and forth, they were more than gracious to accept how I do things and respected that, and still wanted to send me the products for an introduction. And these products will be put through rigorous testing, and a proper review will be done within 3 to 6 months of me using them. And Olight's a company that doesn't do things willy-nilly. They don't send products to people in hopes that because you gave them free stuff, they're going to do a good review for you. And a lot of people like that. A lot of people like jumping on that gravy train and getting all that free stuff. And they do exaggerate their reviews. And when they do that, they get more free stuff. And I'm not into that. I'm just not into that. And of course, you know, there have been, you know, a lot of very bad agreements made with different companies. And one particular YouTuber that comes to mind had a very bad result to a very long and extensive partnership with a company. And the idea of that type of thing does not appeal to me in any regard whatsoever. So primarily I'm speaking to my consistent viewers, my loyal viewers, those that really believe in the way that I do things, especially with my reviews. Olight, fantastic. They will not contact you to send you products unless they've done their homework. They watch your videos, and they look at the comments. They review how you reply to the comments. They look at your knowledge base of the products. They are very intelligent in the manner in which they choose the people to do their reviews, and of which I'm very grateful, and I'm very humbled that they have chosen me to do this. And I needed to throw that out there before I wrap this video up, just to let you know that Boondockery, he don't do that. He don't jump on no gravy train. He don't take no free stuff for the sake of taking free stuff. He don't do it. Most of you out there, I'm certain I didn't need to say that, but I did. Well, folks, as far as my first impressions of these two products, they are absolutely fantastic, and I cannot wait to use these extensively throughout the next several months. Now, just a reminder, on the 16th, Olight will be on their YouTube page, Olight World, and they are going to be, releasing information at 8 a.m. on the 16th of their new product release information. And you won't want to miss that. I'm looking forward to it because I'm certain there's more new products that they're going to introduce that I'm not aware of. So I'm going to be checking that as well. And an hour later on their website, obuy.com, they're going to have a means by which you can register for giveaways. And then just a little bit after that, on the 20th at 8 p.m. on their YouTube channel, they're going to start their big event that goes on for 3 days called OFan Days. And in that, they're going to have flash sales to where you can save up to 45% off their products. And it should be a pretty big deal. Definitely check out their websites. I'll post all the websites down below in the description boxes, and links to everything. Also, they're going to provide a product code for me for the video for you, and that will either appear at the bottom of the screen or it will be in the description box, or both, and whatever I can do to get it on there, but they'll be sending me that soon. And in any regard, I'm looking forward to these. First glance, they're excellent products, and again, I'm very much looking forward to using these. If by any chance you have any of the older versions of these two products, share your experience with them down in the comments below. As a matter of fact, if you have any experience with Olight products, share it in the description box below. Good, bad, indifferent. I want to hear everything that you have experienced by using their products in the past. And I'm very curious to see what everyone has to say about that. Well, folks, as always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.